Okay, Panther Cubs, today is Monday of week 5. I'm going to read the questions, and then if you need to go back and finish, please go back and finish. Number 1, what digit is in the thousands place? Number 2, use the commutative property of addition to complete the equation. Number 3, what time is shown on the clock? And number 4, Larry traveled 304 miles to the family reunion. Lisa traveled 196 miles. How many more miles did Larry travel than Lisa? Okay, at this point, if you have not done all the work, you need to pause the video and go back and complete the questions. If you have finished, then we're going to check our answers. Make sure you're changing yours and correcting it to the correct answers. Okay, so the first question asks us, what digit is in the thousands place in the number? So I know that I have 2 houses. I have my regular house and this is my thousands house. So I'm going to go ahead and label my houses. What rooms are my houses? So ones, tens, hundreds, thousands. Then in the middle is always T, but it's in the thousands house, so 10 thousands. Same here. H, but it's in the thousands house, so it's 100 thousands. And now I can put my number in my house, 29,843. So the digit in the thousands place is 9. So my final answer is 9 because it does not ask for the value. If it asked for the value, it would be 9,000. But asking for the digit means what number is in the thousands house. Okay, number 2 says using the commutative property of addition, complete the equation. So if you remember, last week we talked about the commute, like your parents commute to work, meaning that they go from your house, they go to work, and then on the way home, they go from work to your house. Let's see. Okay. So it's the same thing with addition. We go one way there, and on the other way we come, and on the way back we go the other way. So if I have 14 plus 21, 14 plus 21, so on the way home, on the way back, it's going to be 21 plus 14. So these are together. My home is never changing spots, and neither is my work. It just is the order in which it comes. So commutative property can mean that the order can change, but it's still going to be equal to the same thing, which would be 35. So my final answer is 21 plus 14 is my final answer for number 2. Okay, number 3 asks what time is shown on the clock. And we've talked about before, we have to first figure out which is the minute hand, which is the hour hand. So I know that hour is a short word. If I clap syllables, it's only 1 syllable, hour. So hour is a short word, so it's the shorthand. Minute is a long word, so it is the longhand. So if I'm looking at the clock that's given to me, let's see if we can get that in there. I see my shorthand is at the 10. So I know that my hours must be 10. And now I'm going to do the minutes, the longhand. Minutes, if it's at the 1, that doesn't mean it's 10:01. It means it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The minutes count by 5. So every time I see a big number, it's 5 minutes, because you can count the little tick marks in between as well. So the time on the clock is 10:05. All right, and the last one. Larry traveled 304 miles to the family reunion. Lisa traveled 196 miles. How many more miles did Larry travel than Lisa? So we're going to make our UPSC grid. Oops, I just got it on my table. UPSC. And we are going to go, oh my goodness, it's a mess, I'm a mess. We're going to go sentence by sentence to figure out what is important, what do I need to be able to answer this question. So the first sentence says, Larry traveled 304 miles to the family reunion. Again, I don't need to rewrite the whole sentence. I just need to know that Larry went 304 miles. So Larry is 304 miles. Sentence 2 says Lisa traveled 196 miles. So we're going to put, and I guess I should put L-A for Larry. Lisa traveled 196 miles. And then the last sentence says, how many more miles did Larry travel than Lisa? Remember, your question is always important because otherwise you don't know what you're going to be solving for or what you're supposed to be doing. So we're going to write how many more Larry than Lisa. All right, so now I can plan. In my plan, I see I only have 2 numbers. So since I only have 2 numbers and the question's asking me about those 2 numbers, I know that this is going to only be one step. But the question becomes, what operation? Is it add, subtract, multiply, or divide? Well, I'm going to draw the picture to help you kind of understand what it might be. So I know that Larry went this far. This is my 304 for Larry. Okay. I know that Lisa is not going as many miles. She's going from her house 196 miles. I want to know how much more did Larry travel? So how much extra did Larry go than Lisa? So this means the easiest way to do this would be to subtract, because I need to know this little chunk that is extra for Larry. So I'll do 304 minus 196. And that will give me this extra chunk of how much more was Larry than Lisa. So I'm going to come down here to my solve. I have 304 minus 196. So we're doing subtraction. So I'm looking to circle the bigger number. And I see my bigger number is on the floor. So that means I need to go next door to borrow 10 more. Well, I knock on my neighbor's door, but no one's home. So I have to go down the street. And I'm going to take one from my hundreds. I'm going to say, Mr. Hundreds, can I borrow one of you? But I just want to trade you in. And I'm not going to trade them in for 100 ones because that's too many ones. I'm going to trade them in for 10 more. I still can't do 4 minus 6, but now somebody's arrived at the house. So I can go next door now, and next door is going to be able to help me out. So the 10 is going to become a 9, and the 4, I'm getting 10 more. So I have 4 plus 10 more is 14. So now I can subtract. And I'll do 14 take away 6. Well, I know that 14 minus 4 is 10, and I still need 2 more to make 6, so that would be 8. So if you want to know another way other than just counting from 6 to 14, you can think, okay, how many get me back to 10, and then how many do I still have left? Numbers the same, zeros the game, and I'm circling my bigger number, more on top, no need to stop. So I'm going to say that my answer is 108 miles, but before I finish, I'm going to come over here and check it to make sure that I did my work correctly. So I'm going to do the opposite operation, and I'm going to work, instead of top to bottom, I'm going to go bottom to top. So I'm taking my bottom number and my middle number, and hopefully we'll get 304. Okay, 8 plus 6. Well, I know that 6 plus 6 is 12. So if I do 6 and 6, that's 12, and 2 more is 14. 1 plus 9 is 10, and 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 3. And that matches up. So my answer of 108 miles is correct.